Welcome to another episode of How to Suck Less at Street Fighter 6. And today we're going to be talking about dealing with a particularly annoying opponent. Someone who's just spamming the same move over and over again in kind of a rush-down way. So you're playing against someone and they start doing this against you, and you just don't know what to do about it. And every time you try to do a move, you seem to get hit. Right? And then all of a sudden you just start blocking, and then, well, they just come in and throw you. Right? So there's two ways to sort of be able to figure out what to do about this, and the first one's in training mode, so you hop into training mode after the match, and the second one we'll talk about what you're going to do during the match, when you can't just hop into training mode. But the thing to do here, in training mode, is to just use this move, right? So I'll just do that, and you'll notice that at the bottom of the screen, these two frame data bars that are scrolling by, above it, it has the sort of the player 1 frame data, and it says startup 8 frames, total 43, advantage minus 8 frames. And that means that I'm finishing this move 8 frames after my opponent finishes blocking. That's bad. That means they've got an 8 frame advantage. So if I do a jab, for instance, okay, that's just minus 3 frames, but jabs, if you see startup, it says 4 frames, and you can see the 3 green startup frames, the 3 green blocks, and then you have the red frames, which are the hit frames. So jabs hit in 4 frames. I can do and hit with a jab in just 4 frames of the game. So if there's a move that's minus 8, that means I can jab after it. I mean, it means my opponent, after I get hit with this move, can jab me. So I'm going to get the opponent to start doing this. And you notice that every time they do this, I can just put a jab in there. And you notice also that it says on my side of the screen, if I get the timing just right on these things, it says punish counter. Right? And that's a surefire sign that there's nothing they could have done. That they were coming out of that move when I hit them, and they had no possibility of blocking. Right? So that's useful to know, because now every time my opponent does this and I block it, I can jab. And jabs are good, fine. But I can also stick a combo on this. Every time. And I can do all kinds of things. I can make an overdrive combo, a little bit more damage in there. Oop. Right. So this is how you can sort of go into training mode and take a look at what an opponent was doing and find the weakness in there, right? Find out what they were doing that you could have countered, right? And notice I want to start with my fastest move, right? I want to start with a jab and have a combo that starts with a jab so I can counter more things, because the startup on this is 4 frames, but the startup on this is on that her heavy punch is 13 frames, right? So that 8 frame move, I can't punish it with a hard punch, but I can punish it with jabs, and then I have a little combo that I can do in there that I have for my character that's going to let me get some damage out of these things. Yeah, but in a match, right, if you're not going to hop into training mode, you just have to look for that punish counter message, because when that appears, that means there was nothing they could do. They did something that was not smart. They made a bad move. You blocked it. And now you're punishing them because the move they did was not safe. Right? And this is how you're going to go about looking for those weaknesses in what your opponent is doing. So look for those weaknesses, right? Have a little combo with your character, even if it's just like a tiny combo like that you're going to do that does damage and lets your opponent know that you've figured them out, that they shouldn't be doing that again. All right, thanks for watching.